Hey there, 10th Bangalore Shorts Film Festival. I have never written a comedy, and I've written different kinds of stories. Like most of them are serious, very serious, contemplative, and all. I've always been wanting to write a comedy from a very long time, and that's how this, the idea for this film came about. And I came about with this idea that what if a friend bugs his editor friend to work on a film that he hardly finds interesting. So that's how it came about, and then I started developing it, and it just turned out to be what it is. I never knew how my comic sense would be, as in on screen. I know how it would be on paper, but like I wanted to explore myself as a writer. The initial idea was easy, as in it was okay. Now when I got the idea of a friend who bugs his editor friend to work on a film, that was fine. But it took a while for me. It took quite a while for me, to develop that into a complete story, to give shape to it, because I had a serious writer's block and I couldn't move forward. I just couldn't figure out how to write this whole thing. Like, what should I do? What situations should I write? It took like a couple of months for me to figure out the whole thing, to overcome the writer's block. I had to add a lot of things to give it more depth, to not make it look shallow. For instance, you have this editor guy, the initial idea was to, the backstory of the guy, like what is the backstory of the guy? It's necessary to have a backstory for everyone, for every role, even though you do not necessarily film it or, show it to the audience. This is almost it's a very low budget short film, if not no budget short film. The human resources, it didn't have a crew. The crew was very limited. It was just me and the actors, that's all the crew. When someone was acting, the other person was doing the camera and the lighting and stuff. Basically the cast was the crew. The film is very small, from that standpoint, but it's fun, because we had a very tight schedule, because one of the actors who played the friend had to go to he had some different plans, so we had to just finish it up in 2 days, on a Saturday and on a Sunday. So it was hectic, but it was fun. One of the major challenges in this film was to shoot the conversations, because we didn't have 2 cameras. It would be easy to film with 2 cameras, obviously, but we had only one, and we had to think of ways to shoot the conversation scenes in the most organic way possible, because they have to look organic. You can't I believe in improvisations, and no matter how much you write a scene, improvisations help a lot, and they add so much to the scene, especially when you have all these 3 actors in one scene. The long lengthy conversation where they talk about The Godfather and KGF, and we had to shoot it only with 1 camera, so that was the biggest challenge in this film. We pulled it off somehow, and I believe the conversations don't look artificial. There will always be some difference between the end product and what you actually write on the paper, because 100% precise translation of words into images is almost impossible, because you can't do that. Obviously this film was, but it's good. I mean, when you write on paper, you have a certain idea of how the film is going to be, but when the actual actors come into the picture, they make the whole thing a lot more interesting. The target audience for this film is obviously the adults, because because of the because of the subject matter. It's a dark comedy. It's almost like a deadpan kind of a thing. So that needs a certain quirk in an audience to completely understand what's going on, or to completely, get the spirit of the film. Me and my brother have a very different, I don't know if it's different, but at least our outlook towards films is that we just create films, we just make films, and we put it out there. Why should the audience watch this film? Because it's fucking fun. I don't have any messages for emerging filmmakers, because since I'm one of them, I don't know if I'm in a position to give an advice to. But anyway, just make films, make the kind of films you want to make, no matter what. And I wish the 10th Bangalore Shorts Film Festival all the best. Peace out.